So is it a kitchen garden if you have a vegetable patch in your garden, or is it just a vegetable patch, the humble vegetable patch? Now that's a dilemma that I am going with at the moment. I always call a vegetable patch an area of your garden where you stick vegetables in. However, the modern term is kitchen garden. So I get that when it comes to a restaurant that has a garden which provides for the kitchen. That makes total sense to me. But if you have an area of your garden dedicated to vegetables and other produce that you eat, and then you take those in and you cook with them, surely that's also a kitchen garden. So I am going to go and posh it all up, and I am no longer going to call my vegetable patch. Once I put the new surrounding on, I'm going to start calling it my kitchen garden. I want to make sure that I have plenty of room where everything gets plenty of sun. So I'm going with the whole kitchen garden. So my name is Claire and this is my home garden in Wiltshire, and welcome to me building my kitchen garden. I've got most of the wood. Anyone who saw my last vlog saw that they didn't deliver all of my wood, even though it was packaged up, and I was missing a vital piece. So after a week of back and forth, they have finally agreed to send me the piece that is missing. How kind of them, right? And I won't be recommending that company on eBay at all, and I will be giving them a 1-star because it does not take a week to respond to a message about missing parts on a package they sent out. So I don't normally do that, but it's been very frustrating trying to get that extra part, and it's really held me up a week on my progress on this. So as you can see here, this is treated by the company but not by me. That is my stain. Compared to a piece that is treated by me. So that's untreated, treated. I think it looks much nicer, in all honesty. And I think it's taken really well. So I'm going to paint all of it. I have the time to be able to do that while I'm waiting for the other piece. And I just think the more protection I can give it, the longer it will last. So while I'm going to leave these to dry, it's very windy today, so that's a bonus. I'm going to start taking off the edging on the veg patch.
Bailalo
So let's do a little recap. I have removed the old framework from the vegetable patch and any bits and pieces that had got stuck underneath it, any plastic, any little cable ties. I found quite a few pegs, may I add. Not quite sure why there was that many pegs there, but it explains why my washing line is very, very short of pegs. Once that had been done, I then treated every single piece of wood, even the corner posts. And even though I paid quite a bit of money for this from eBay, they were looking like scaffold boards. I think what I did makes it look much nicer, much more expensive. So I was really glad that I was able to treat all of this wood. So kind of having the missing piece was a benefit, because I probably wouldn't have done that if all of the pieces were there. And it also gave me the time to build, which took a while. It's been a while since I've built anything like this, and on top of that, not having a option of where to put the wood while I'm putting it all together and having to lean on the floor and then having to find pallets to lean on probably wasn't the best thing for my back, my knees, my hands, my wrists. It was tough going. Right, so that has taken an hour and a half. Obviously I can't complete it because I haven't got the end piece of wood, but everything is stained. Everything is put together that I can put together. I haven't stapled in the insert yet, which is membrane, because I want to do that as one whole piece and not half do it and then do the rest when the other piece turns up. My wrists are hurting, so I will tighten the screws when I come back out, just to most of them are tight. There's just one or two that are a little bit tricky where it's a lot lower down and I just can't get my power behind it. So looking at it, I'm really pleased with what it's going to look like when it's on the bed. I can't lift the whole thing as one whole piece, so I am going to have to wait for someone to come home to help me lift it on. If that's before it gets dark, I will lift it onto the area tonight. If not, then it'll be another day, really just so I can look at it while it's there and decide what I'm going to do, because it's going to sit on the ground, so I'm going to have to dig it out slightly to make it as flush as possible. It won't be completely flush, which is why I didn't get the spirit level out, because there's no point, because my garden goes like this, especially towards the path. It really bends off, which is a shame really, and I can't push it any further back because then I'll be interfering with the flooding that happens on the grass. So for the benefit of what's going to be growing, I think having it tilted slightly is probably a better option, if I'm honest. So the next part was to clear everything away. I'd had all the straw on there, which I used all over winter to protect everything. It worked really, really well. I got rid of all of that. You will see a little bit of me doing the tomato area here as well. I popped that in because it's all kind of part of what I was doing, but there will be a different vlog for that at another time. So what I wanted to do is trying to make this as flush as possible. It was only slightly out at the end. I was quite proud of myself. I mean, I went round there about 50 times and that spirit level was attached to my hand at one point. So I think it looks pretty good. Probably as flush as I could get it. Excuse my fat ass in the way there. I've really got to remember that when I get so heavily involved in what I'm doing, camera angles are really important. Apologies again for the arse shot there. During the next stage of the video, you will be seeing me clearing the vegetable patch and deciding to put in a pathway along the pathway just to hold the vegetable patch in place. Kitchen garden, I quote, just to make it look a little bit more professional. That took me way longer than what I thought it was going to take me, but I was really chuffed with how it ended. Okay, so I'm going to add the straw that I've just taken off the top to this front part here. It is slightly on the stones and there is tarp there, so I'm not going to get a lot growing from here anyway, so I will put some shallow rooted crops here. So I'm just going to top it up a little bit using this. Okay, just going to make sure there's no grass there. Before I fill it, I'm going to remove the stones from the outside of this path here, and I'm going to put some big rocked edging stones along this bit. What it will do is once this is filled, it's going to start moving this way because everything's sloped, and with all the flooding, again, I'm worried it's going to start moving this way. So that is actually going to secure this in place. And I really like those edging stones, and I'm not sure what else to use them on. I think I'm going to go around the greenhouse with them as well and remove some of those stones to free up some of the stones for the bare areas whereabouts you are right now. Okay, so I've dug out a trench in front here. Like I said I've gone down quite far. Let's see if you can see that's quite far. all the way down there. And then I put the excess soil in there. That's really, really moist, that is, where everything slopes, all the water's been just gathering here, but that fills up a gap in there. So I've left a little bit of lip on the top, and I'm going to tuck it underneath what I've already got here. Often now to get, I think probably 2 more stones will do it. They're not too far away from me, but they are all different sizes, so I might have to have a little move around to see what I can get on with. And Connor is doing really, really well getting my bed made for the front of the house. It's the giant bed, which now isn't going to be as giant because I've put the tree there. So, it needs to go this way. Oh. So that goes there. I'm starting to think I should have gone the other way around. Play, you twats. Can you see me rethinking my life choices right there? That's what my brain does. I start something and then wonder why halfway through that I continue to do that, but it was worth it in the end. Oh, I'll tell you what, I couldn't be any better of a labourer if I tried.
I get 3 of them stones up in one.
I get 3 of those stones up in one. Oh, you bastard. Connor, can you, it's not that, this needs to come up. Can you lift that one up? Just like half a centimetre. See that gap?
It's not even off under me, right?
Cool, I should be able to get that rock in now.
No chance.
Yeah, just bang it in.
Take 10 mil off it.
I'll come right in.
No, look, this can drop back there, isn't it?
That's it. That's it. Not too far for all those stones if they go in the hole.
There you go. Now that's like, you just got to worm that in. Turn it the other way.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's probably better off the other way. Ew.
I'm genius. I'll stamp on it.
I've got a hammer.
You broke my toe. My toe went all the way back then. There you go.
Not too bad, is it?
Nope. Bang.
That's better than what it was there with just the stones coming onto the path. Oh no, I know, I'm doing that. It's just like you take that back up because these are shit stones and I want nicer stones.
Whoa!
In the cup.
I'll take them back up later. I'm getting a snack quick.
I need a snack.
I'm hungry as hell.
Get a brownie, that'll give you enough sugar.
I ate 2 of them yesterday, bruv.
That's enough sugar and brownies to give you diabetes.
That's the thing, I don't need sugar. I was going to make a tuna sandwich.
That is my eldest helping me there with some of the heavy lifting. At this point, I was done in. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of bending to get this area done and sorted. And I've done a lot of things off camera as well. If I ever have anything done for me, I do always am honest with it, or I will always show you, or I will always tell you. I am not the type of vlogger that will get someone else to do something for me and then me pretend I've done it myself. You will see it, you know, as bad as it may be filmed or as bad as what it is from my voiceover. I will always show you if I get help or if someone does something for me. Even if that does mean there's a little bit of footage there, like a comedy sketch of me taking the mick out of him taking the mickey out of me, and discussing having brownies. I am back, and it is time to finish the vegetable patch kitchen garden project. I am surprised it's done all right while I've been away, if I'm honest. One of the garlics does look a little bit rusty, only one of them though, so I need to check that one out, and considering it's got sides, I'm surprised about that. So how we are going to finish it is I'm going to pull up anything in here that I don't want in here anymore. So that's some red vine sorrel. I love it, but I don't need as much as I've got. I leave 2 in here because I like to harvest them really small for salad leaves, and when I run out of sorrel or spinach, it's a really good substitute. And it's also really good for stir fries. So I'm going to dig out anything in here that I don't want to keep in here, and I'm going to change up what I am actually going to have in my growing space. I'm going to have more cut and come again in here. I am going to keep the garlic in here, and I'm going to possibly plant a couple of onions as well. So the difficulty I have is, as you can see, this is really, really low. It was ground level when it was put in place last year, but I do want the soil level to come up. So I've got some mushroom compost, some topsoil and some compost to go in here to raise that level up. I'm going to mix it all up together in a bag, and then I'm going to start filling it up. Now, I was going to put the black membrane on the inside. However, I think it's going to look awful having that on there, and I much prefer the natural look, so I'm not going to put that on. You know, if in 4 years time I've got to spend another £100 to replace this, I don't have a problem with that. It's to me, that wood has lasted a really good time. So with that being said, I'm going to get some pots to put some of this in, and I'm going to take some of that sorrel to the allotment plot. So if you are still hanging in there and you are continuing to watch this vlog, thank you very much. If you are new to my channel, please pop a like there and a subscribe. It's totally free to do so, and it massively helps my small channel. I am very, very new to all of this, and I'm learning vlog by vlog. All these lovely worms. So we picked up the log and this log, and this is what was underneath, a whole family of worms, all different sizes. Now normally I would put them in the compost, however I'm moving my compost, so I'm actually just going to put them in this bed. I'm going to leave them like that and they can crawl out. This will be my standing point now. It will need to be leveled out a little bit, but this is where I will be standing and getting on my knees to see to everything. So bear in mind the soil level's got to come up. I wanted something natural in here. So in here is the mushroom compost. I'm going to add some multi-purpose compost to that. My new fancy little rake. The compost that I was using there was from Aldi. I've used it a couple of times now in the garden and the allotment, and I'm really pleased with it. It does have added feed in it at an extra price of 50p per bag, and I think that is well worth it. I gave everything a really, really good mix around. So now I'm just waiting for the wheelbarrow of topsoil to add to this. I'll give it another big mix in, then I'll start shoveling it in or wheelbarrowing it in into the vegetable patch. This is my kids rake I picked up from Aldi. What a great thing to have. Should have picked up two, one for the allotment as well. I may still do that. So I'm just gonna make a hole in the middle, and that's where I'm gonna tip in the topsoil, because it'd be easier to mix that way. Excellent. Right into the middle. That, my friends, is a fantastic mix of compost with feed in it. A really good top quality topsoil that's nice and fine, nice and dry, with the best mushroom compost going. So it's probably 1 part of each in there. That is going to fill up the rest of that bed, and that is absolutely amazing. So what you're seeing now is me in the new kitchen garden, putting some rings around anything that I didn't want to get covered in soil, and just protecting a few of the other bits and pieces, and just taking out any bits that I may have missed. The kitchen garden really started to come together at this point. Excluding the tomato area, there's a little sneak peek of what's to come. My back had gone on me, so there you go, my son filling up the last half of the kitchen garden with that gorgeous soil. I mean, it smelled amazing, it felt amazing, and it looked amazing. It's time to get planting. This is the fun bit. So last night I put the frame back together that was originally on it during the winter to stop any foxes and shrews, things like that. I picked everything that I want to put in here. Some of that I probably haven't got room for, but I've picked a lot just in case I have. I've got a bunch of seeds, and just to my right here I've got a load of plants ready, desperately ready to go in. So I'm going to be mindful, like I said yesterday, be mindful of what I'm putting in here, not overcrowding. I had a lot in here last year and I found some of it got overcrowded, and I'm going to put some things that are slow growing as well that will get me through the hungry gap for next year, fingers crossed. So what I'm going to do is quickly read through the possibilities. So some nasturtium, scabious, poppy seed, leeks, little carrots, spring onions, calendula, dill, oregano, pak choi, wild rocket, radish, red spring onion, and beetroot. Whatever I have space for, I will put in a mixture of the both. I've got some coriander and some parsley, some beets that have already come up. I've got some garlic kale that is doing fantastic. So I have 3. I'll only be putting 1 in. The rest is for the allotment. And I've purchased, these haven't been grown by me, some turnips. When I used turnips in here last year, the flea beetle destroyed them, so I had no turnips. So I'm going a little bit earlier this year with these. And then I have some celeriac. Again, I'm not going to put all of these in. I'm just putting 1, maybe 2 in. The rest I'll go into the allotment. So never grown that before, and I love celeriac, so I'm going to try putting 1 again or 2 in here. And then in here that I've grown from seed is a cabbage and 2 spinach. The spinach will end up bolting because this is an extremely sunny bed, but for now it's going to give me lots of leafy greens to get me through that period, and then I'll be sowing some more and keeping them down in the shade as well. And the guinea pig loves spinach. And then I have 2 cauliflowers. One of them isn't looking fantastic and I think it really needs to get into the ground, so I will pop 2 cauliflowers in. I had 2 in last year and that seemed to do fine, and they weren't overcrowding anything. I tend to put them up into the corners out of the way. That way you can keep them more closed and less open, which also helps cover the head of the cauliflower. These are what I'm going to put in first, and then I will sow in and around other areas. I'm still undecided on whether or not I like that log in the middle. It's quite big. Yeah, I'm still undecided, but for now I will sow around it. I'll take the frame off and hopefully it won't fall apart when I take it off, and then I will put the cover on the frame and cover everything back up after it's had a really good drink. So let's get going. I will time lapse the next bit. That's why I wanted to tell you about everything that I've got going in, so I didn't have to keep stopping and starting. So I will time lapse the next bit for you, and I will be also compacting the soil down as well before I sow or plant anything, so I can see really how much I've got, because although it's the level I want it to be now, it's fluffy. So obviously once that gets watered, that's going to squish down, so I'll know whether or not I need to add more. So you might see me doing that too. Welcome to the final part of the kitchen garden build. The frame, I've decided when it goes back on, I am going to put some electrical tape around each join just to hold it together, because as tight as I can put it in, it still falls apart because it's very flimsy, but it does the job. I did indeed stamp down all of the compost and added a little bit more. It wasn't as low as I thought it was going to be. However, I just topped it up just that little bit more. I may need to add some more topsoil at some point just to fill up anything, but I can do that throughout the season because I've always got a bag of this and a bag of that, which I keep behind for emergency purposes. So I changed my mind about this. It's too big to go in there. So I think I'm just going to buy some slabs to put in here, I think. I don't think I've got anything else I can put in here. Let me go and have a little smudge around. So for now, it's just going to have to be this bit of bamboo. It's not real bamboo. And then I think I might make some kind of pathway. But I won't really be stepping in it for at least 4 weeks. So that is all the labels I'm currently using. I am looking to get some slate and some chalk pen, outdoor pen for all of these. I mean, I kind of know once they get to a certain stage what they are, but the difficulty is when I tell one of the kids to go and get me some coriander, they'll bring me back parsley, and I'm like, no. So it's not done very well and it won't last very long, but it will do for now. So what I am going to sow is some breadseed poppy, some red onion and some dill. Dill's my favourite, and although I've already got some in the ground, I'm going to sow some as well. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this vlog on how it all started, what it used to look like and how it looks now. I'm really chuffed of the changes that I've made to this area. and I'm really proud of myself for thinking about what it is that I use in my garden the most for cooking. So this is why I've changed it to a kitchen garden. 90% of the things that are in here is what I cook with on a weekly basis. It's great to have herbs in other areas, and I have herbs all over the garden and in the front garden and at the allotment, but these are mainly my cut and come again. I've got some lettuce that I will put in here as well, but for now, because the frost hasn't completely gone, and although the cover that will go on top of this does protect everything from the frost, and if we get one more heavy frost, which you never know, I've got fleece that I can cover over as well to protect everything in here. The sides are really thick. It's full of worms. Joshua today was out here this morning to earn some money for Pokemon cards, and he removed all of those stones. He did all of that for me today, so I didn't have to get on my knees and grab the stones out. He's such a lush little boy, and he's not little anymore, he's a big boy now. And so yeah, I'm really pleased. I just need to sort my labelling out a little bit better with something a little more sustainable, and possibly get a couple of round concrete slabs just to plant either side here, so I've got something to step onto rather than stepping onto the ground in my slippers, because, well, I think yeah, I'm not sure if the washing machine can handle this. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it, and it'll be good. And then, like I say, once the cabbage whites come out, the cover will stay permanently on, but until then the cover will stay off. And at night times I will just make sure I put a light fleece over it, if not the main cage, just to stop the foxes or anything else trying to dig anything out like they do. So here's to a very successful kitchen garden growing season. Please feel free to pop a comment in there, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you very soon for another big project, which isn't going to be the tomato area, it's going to be something out the front.